Cardi B's steady saying the N-word like every day, right? But no one gets mad though. Hey guys, it's your girl Nads and you're watching the Talk TXP. To skip to the main points made in this video, click on the timestamps in the description below.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Talk DXP, and we're about to discuss whether it's okay for non-black people to say the N-word. Now, in my opinion, I don't think that's allowed whatsoever. But I don't know about these guys. I know you're on my side, but I'll just say that it's a sticky topic, but I don't think it's acceptable.
Why do you say that though?
Across the board. Now, in terms of culture, right? Like culture is just so intertwined these days that it's hard for some people not to get away from it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I have my boys who say nigga.
Okay.
And I let it pass because if you go back to its origins and you go back to like where it originates from and like how it's like progressed over time, it went from a derogatory term, which it still is by the certain people who say it, to like your brother. Like that's your brother. Yeah. And so if you've like grown up with this guy, right? This is your boy. Like, you know, you do hoodlum shit with this guy. Class, you know? Exactly. It's like you like he's your boy, and it just comes up so easily. Like he's, you know, but no. So no, you just
so what
can't.
What you're saying is, unless he's your friend, he can't say the N-word.
What I'm saying is, right, I don't think it's acceptable. I wish it wasn't like that, right? But the way our culture is so rich, especially the African American culture, it's become like, you say it almost in the beginning of every sentence. You know, it's just the way it is. And in that point, it slips. And you say to your white boy, you say, my, and then it's just bound to come back and forth. And it's bound to come into the conversation. However, I wish it were different. And personally, if we were to start over and, you know, things weren't as bad as they were, I wouldn't have it like that whatsoever. I just don't believe it.
Yeah, but you see,
even if it's my guys, right? Even if it's there's some times where I'm just like, nah, like, it's not necessary. It's just sometimes we just can't say no. You know what I'm saying? Now, I do not believe in it, but it slips.
So yeah, like for me, as you say, like it went from such a bad word to now it's like brotherhood, like you are my boy or something like that. So that's where I come up with the value of the word, the N-word now. Like if you're putting too much value in it, then yeah, sure, this non-black should not use the word. But now we black ourselves have now made it like a brotherhood term. Why don't we allow this love to come up with the name and just not forget about the past, but let the past die. So we allow everyone to now use the word in a positive way. So we are kind of changing the reaction or the meaning or the background. That's where I say we should now allow the non-blacks to say.
I get it, but
not die per se, but try to
forget the past.
We can't forget. No, not forget, but
this nigga is trying to trigger her, man. No, not let the past die.
I'm trying to get a right word for it, but of course we can't let it die. We can't forget about it. But
because the term now isn't as derogatory, like when people say it, they mean like you said, like my boy, my bro, my whatever. So like, why don't we, like what she's saying is, why don't we allow it to be said like by everybody? My issue with that statement or that opinion is, sometimes you honestly don't know someone's intentions. True. Honestly speaking. So I could look like someone that's not a racist, and I could be saying this word like back and forth all the time, thinking, oh, like it's okay, everyone's gonna think that I mean it as my bro or my sister. Yeah. But I could, like, deep down, my intentions are to make you maybe feel less than or something. Do you know what I mean? So that's maybe problematic.
That's where I come in as, because now this N-word is no longer as strong as it was before. Even though you are saying as a racist thing, to me, it has no effect on me now, because now
the word effect on some people.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If we have been able to make this N-word not have that much value that it has, even if as a racist person say to me, you just didn't trigger anything in me anymore, I'll be like,
that's you though.
But let me see you do that. Let me see you take away that pain that word has.
No.
So that's where,
because it's like, I'm of African descent,
yes,
but I was born and raised in the United States.
Yeah.
And so when you grow up learning the weight that word has, right? And people don't even know where they come from because of what those people were told, what they were brought up as, and what they just. There's people who are from West Africa, people from the Caribbean, who don't even know they're from there, and they were just undermined because of that term. And so when you come and say, like, to allow people who have oppressed them for 400 or 500 years to just be able to say something that they used to just undermine them with, it's big. Like, you gotta think that it's been less than 60 years since that was something okay to say.
But sorry, like I'm on your side, but you're being really specific. Like now you're just talking about like slavery, right? You're talking about, that's what I'm assuming you're talking about, slavery?
Yeah.
And in the States in general? Yeah. So you're talking specifically about Caucasians.
Well, not necessarily slavery, but
because
like
you're saying like you're allowing the people who suppress the people, like, so Arabs?
Nah, see, they don't even know, they don't know the history behind that word. That's the thing, like I don't believe they should be able to say it at all. Okay. But there's a difference between knowing and not knowing. There's ignorance there's not knowing.
Yes.
In the United States, it's ignorance. Yeah. Because you're taught what that is.
Yeah.
In other parts of the world, it's not knowing. Yeah. And so when an Arab says that, my experience of what I think they know is they've heard it in a song
or like a movie or whatever.
Or they've seen it in a movie. So you educate them, you tell them, bro, that ain't right. You feel me? Like, that's not okay.
With me, yeah, that's where like I come in here. Like, I agree with the whole like giving your really close friends the hall pass to say and all of this. But at the same time, yeah, I'm not gonna go to a club and while a song is on, and a Caucasian or like a non-black person says the N-word, which is in the song, I'm not gonna get mad about that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying, yeah? Because like, in a way, to me, it's kind of appreciation. Like you said, it's not knowing. Yeah? Some people just sing the lyrics. They don't even know what the word means, So, like, I'm not going to go to you and be like, bro, why are you saying the N-word? Like, he'll be really confused, that kind of thing. Like,
no, but that guy also needs to know his place.
Yeah,
because because there's that stuff pisses me off, bro. Because listen, you be in the club, you're on your vibe, like, you bulling, you feel me, and then you hear that shit in the back of your ear, and you look, and there's some white saying the same thing, and you're just like,
I wanted to go off of like,
hurts, bro.
Because like I feel like there should be some type of sensitivity to it, like I was saying, like for me, if I'm at the club and like this song is like lit, it's popping, and it's just like all N-words, like me as Nadine, I just don't say it because I don't want to offend anyone. Like, I don't know anyone that's here. Someone might be offended even though they know my intentions are, oh, she's just rapping this, like, or singing the lyrics, right? But I could offend someone by saying it. So me, I just don't even say it.
You see, the people you offend, yeah, by saying that, like, I don't want to speak for them. I'm going to speak for myself. This, like what she said, yeah, like the N-word used to be like a really derogatory term back in the day. But like right now, like it's all about brotherhood and like this is cool, you're my, you get that kind of thing, yeah? So like for me, yeah, I'm not going to, like back in the day, like if you're being called a means you are like the low of the low. You weren't equal to us. You're basically a monkey or an animal, that kind of So like I'm not gonna let a white trigger me by calling me the N-word, Like, and I was talking about it earlier, yeah, like I was in the club, a white guy came to me and he was like, man, how you doing? Yeah?
Did you take offense?
This is the thing, yeah? No, listen, yeah? Listen.
My blood just
I don't know where that guy's from. I don't know him from anywhere. Like, I'm looking at him like clueless, like, why the are you coming up to me, talking to me and like calling me, But at the same time, yeah, I'm not gonna act like the that his parents told him about, like, this is how black people act, Like, I'm not gonna whoop his ass and like, someone calls you, you whoop their ass, you're still going to jail. Like that's assault, man. So like, I'm not gonna act like what they told him our people act like. I'm not gonna let that word trigger me as, like they'll literally tell you, like, if you want to trigger a black person, just call them the N-word. I'm not gonna like fall into that category.
Yeah, because then they go like,
it doesn't mean I'm not adding value to the, like, literally, bro, there's some people that will give you looks. It's worse than the N-word. Literally worse than the N-word. I'm telling you. You go for some interview, yeah? And like the way they look at you is like, why the f are you here? You know, that kind of thing. So like, I'm not gonna I don't say the N-word doesn't have any value, but like, to me, I removed the value that was attached to it and gave it another meaning.
See, I get what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying?
In culture is done as wrong by letting it stay in play. And the fact that it's still within our vocabulary is wrong. I'm not gonna lie, it's wrong. It's just happened to be with us. It's in our songs, it's in the way we talk. I believe it really shouldn't exist whatsoever. Like, it should not be there because it has such a heavy meaning from back in the day. But unfortunately it is. But you'll even come to some rappers will even say that it shouldn't be there. It shouldn't be part of our language. It shouldn't be something that we're allowed to say.
They use it
they use it the most, but there are some who are opposed to it. Like,
it's not right. It's not right. And we all, I mean, I won't say we all, but a lot of us are guilty of using it. And I'm not going to put myself on the good side. I use it too.
Yeah, but the thing is that the reason why you use it, yeah, it's because you, like, to a certain level, you don't attach the values it came with to it anymore. Like you said, like, when you use it now, you use it as in a term of, like, my brother, you know, my day one, that kind of thing, yeah. Because to a certain level, you don't attach the same values it came with way back when it literally meant monkey or, like, slave or that kind of thing, you know.
I get what you mean, but it's just, it's terrible when someone, like, when you look at because I grew up in suburbia, and there's people who've said that to me. And when they say that to you, right, 9 times out of 10, they're really trying to diss you. And it's it hurts, bro. Because once you know that history and you know how people were punished, and you know what pain people went through to get the respect that they needed, right? Like, for the people who came in the 50s and 60s just to fight for that reason, to not be undermined, just to be able to walk like a regular human being. And then you see someone of their descent say the same thing to your face, bro, it's unacceptable. It hurts, bro. Cause I don't know, like, you say looks. I get looks on, like, a daily basis. Cause I'm not the average black man. You know what I mean? Like, people look, even in the United States, because people, when they see a black man, they want to see sag pants, they want to see a hat, they want to see everything else.
The stereotype.
And stereotype, you know what I mean? And when they look at you, you can even see the word come out of their eyes.
That's what he was saying.
You know what I'm saying?
But I did want to ask you guys, though, like, since you're, like, 4, can you usually tell, like, the person's intentions?
Yeah, you see, that's the thing, yeah?
Can you usually tell? Like, I don't mean, like, in a song or whatever, like...
Listen, when I mean I'm 4, yeah, I don't mean, like...
Everybody go say that.
I don't mean they make it their national anthem, you know? That kind of thing. But at the same time, I feel like, okay, let me put it this way, yeah? Like, a random stranger cannot come up to you and be like, you're his best friend.
So if he calls you that, then you automatically think, okay, he's trying to diss me.
Some of my friends say, really close friends say, you know, but like they even, I tell them, I'm like, bro.
You say it only here.
Their girls are like, ask me if it's a touch or something. I'm like, yeah, don't use it with me. Like, if you say it to me and I let it go, and you say it to another black nigga outside and he whoops your ass, I'll be right there and I wouldn't do it. You know, my struggle is different from this struggle.
Facts.
You know, we're all black. We're all connected to the slavery thing. I don't think any of my forefathers were like, you know, I need to like research properly to like go deep to like know that thing. So like my struggle is different from another struggle. So like even my close friends, they know, you know, that if they say it, they don't even, when they say it to me, they don't say it around other black people. You get, like when they say it to me in like closed circles.
Just you, yeah.
That kind of thing, you know. There's a friend of mine that like calls me my, you know, like, and there was a point I was like, bro, it's becoming too much. You know, like it's like he was itching to start saying it, you know.
Yeah, like I'm like so happy.
Yeah, you know, I'm like it's becoming too much, you know. And then he started calling me my boy. I'm like, okay, stick with that. Like I don't mind that, you know, that kind of thing. So like even there's an extent to it, you know. But at the same time, I'm not gonna go clubbing like what you said, and a white guy is saying behind my back and get triggered by it.
There's only one of my guys who actually says it. Only one of them who actually says it. And he's Mexican. And like he's like and so I'm like, do my white boys say it? No, they actually don't.
Yeah, like just for the sake of this topic, and I'm for, even still, if I had like a day one white kid, like grew up in suburb, you know, like white kid, like we grew up together, like he probably, you know, and
would you be okay with him saying it to you?
Let me tell you something, yeah. First of all, like if it's actually your day one, it's something he wouldn't even bring up and try to say, you know.
I really wanted to say
it's
that.
Something he wouldn't, you know, like most of the times, yeah, you're the one that like
will give them the pass.
Would initiate it by calling the person you're. Like you
off
said.
Of your point, like I mostly grew up with people that weren't white anyway, right? And I have in my family, I have people that aren't white either. But like there has to be that like knowledge and the sensitivity to the whole, like the word isn't just a word, it represents so much. It represents so much. So regardless if you mean it in like, oh my bro, my homie, or if you mean it in a like degrading, disgusting way, it just shouldn't be said by someone that will never understand the struggle. I can't say, oh, like I have black friends and I could say it around them. Like if I'm like really your friend and I know like hurts, I'm not gonna say it, period. Regardless if you give me this hall pass or not, I'm not gonna say it.
No, you want to know something I also believe? Touching on her subject, like I believe wholeheartedly, like if you don't, I'm not saying forget the past, but like if you get stuck on the past for too long, you wouldn't be able to move forward. Yeah, like we should, I don't know how to explain it without sounding offensive to other people, but like if everyone, I believe, has my kind of mentality where like you don't let the word trigger you so much, at some point, you know, it will just fade away.
So I think I know why it doesn't trigger you that much.
No. Let me give you an example. Yeah, like let me tell you something. Most of the people that are racist that say the N-word, yeah, they do it to trigger black people. They do it to be offensive to black people.
And they want you to react.
And that's because it's a weapon.
Yeah.
The moment a weapon is no longer effective, you look for another weapon. Right now, the N-word is still a huge weapon in the US, everywhere, to be honest. The moment we don't give it the power like it has right now, I'm telling you, bro, it will fade away.
I mean, in my point, that's why I say it should be non-existent all around.
But like,
it should be non-existent all
but
around.
in our reality, like life is not that straightforward. You know, it's not black and white. You know.
The reason why I know it doesn't affect you that much, right, is because I don't know if I'm right, but you did not grow up in the United States, correct?
No.
There's a huge difference from like the United States alone. Right?
Yes.
The United States alone. Because even Canada, they were way better than people down in the United States. And then you go to Africa, right? It's hard to justify, like, it's westernization. It's westernization.
My struggle is
the culture just makes it.
Yeah?
The culture just makes it overseas, you know, and the music just makes it overseas, and the language just makes it overseas. And a lot of people try to emulate how people act in the United States. Unfortunately, yes, westernization is a huge thing. People in the UK, people in Africa, people in Australia, they all, I won't say want to be like people in the United States, but we have such a grip on the culture. We have so many people who are symbols of the culture, where that they want to do things that they do. And that's where that word comes from. And that's when they say all those things. And that's where it moves out there. And then when people, because there's sometimes people, they haven't just felt that racism. It's having, and so
I agree with you on
when
that,
the racism in the United States, unfortunately, even now, it's even escalating to a point where it's, you know, it's like back from 10 years ago where it was all under the rug, and now it's out of the rug and people are like blatantly saying these things, right? Like when you experience it, and it's a touchy topic for me because I've gotten pulled over for literally just being black. Like we say black people drive, and that's an offense. Just being in the car is an offense. Driving while black is an offense because you have a way larger chance of getting pulled over.
See, that's sorry. Just
And
to go off your point.
and so even though the word is so ingrained in the culture, I just don't think we should say it all. And I know I say it here and there, but I know that I don't try and put it out there as much as I should, right? Unlike how people in certain urban areas, in certain areas where it's predominantly black, say it all the time. And I think it really should be eliminated from our vocabulary.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, yeah. For it to be eliminated, yeah, you can't just, except you're willing to pass a law today in the US that anyone who says the N-word will get certain time in prison or like will
a punishment or whatever.
That's not going to happen. Possible. You get, yeah? And that's what I mean by life is not fair and it's not black and white. So for it to be practically eliminated, we have to play a part in that.
To go on both of you guys' points, like the US is definitely different. Like I feel like you were saying earlier, like your struggle is different than his struggle. Like you were born and raised in the States, right? So you experience racism differently than, let's say, Rashid, right? But what I wanted to say was, I feel like going off the point of the US is different. I feel like in the US itself, like non-blacks who grow up in, let's say, predominantly black neighborhoods get the pass forever. Like, at least from what I see, I'm not saying I agree with it, but I'm saying, like, right? Like, I could think of so many examples of, like, famous people, like rappers, actresses, etc., who, like, grew up, like, who felt the struggle, but to them, the struggle wasn't, like, blatant, just racism. To them, the underdog is, like, the N-word. The person that grew up, with, like, in the hood. N-word. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, so they feel the struggle of being a black person but not being black in America. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So those people end up like Cardi B, for example. Cardi B's steady saying the N-word like every day, right? But no one gets mad though. Like no one's mad at her, no one's on her case because she grew up in the hood and she struggled. And do you know what I mean?
Well, Cardi B she's not white.
She's not black either.
Yeah, she's Latino.
We're talking about non-blacks. Like,
so
let's get this clear. We're talking about non-blacks.
You're on my side, right? The
I'm
thing
on your
is,
side
you're on my side.
No.
Listen, hold on, listen. Let me tell you, when it comes, unfortunately, it's.
I'm not saying it's a good thing.
Unfortunately, it's black and white where I come from.
Yeah.
It's black and white.
Yeah.
It's either you're black or you're white, and black is black, Hispanic, Chinese, like that whole list is black.
See, that's what I was trying to say.
It's black.
That's what I was saying. In the US, yeah, like in the US, it's different. Do you get what I mean? That's what I was trying to say. In the US, it's different. So like, if you wouldn't get mad if Cardi B said it or whatever, because it's different there.
And the reason why it's like that is because all those groups were oppressed. That's 100%. Just the way it was. It was white faucets and it was non-white faucets.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like I still am. Like I still think that no one else should say it.
So there's that past. There's that past because they felt the same pain.
100%.
They felt the same pain.
So now on that, so mean, can they say the N-word then? Those who are still in the line of the blacks.
That's the subject. Like for me, I just think no one should say it. Yeah. Like especially if you're
obviously no one should say it. You know,
where you don't live in a perfect world.
We don't live in that kind of world.
You're trying to tell me that it should that my guy Charles or my guy Wyatt or just
no, but see, my whole point is like, stop making it a weapon.
Yes,
we're the only ones that can do that.
So you're trying to tell me if we, so you're gonna de-weaponize this word by making it socially acceptable across all.
She's like yes. No.
Okay.
Hold on. Give me a second. Let me give you a scenario.
Wait, let me just say something. I agree from what you said, the culture-wise. You went through North America and I grew up in Asia, which I did not experience that kind of racism. My racism was different. It was just that black is not pretty. It's not that they don't think you or whatever. Okay, so I get that. But the reason it doesn't affect me or him, that N-word, is because we didn't get through whatever, right? So now when someone used that, it's no longer a weapon for us. So what I'm trying to say is we black people have contradicted ourselves for using this word in music, and yet we say no one can say. So now moving forward from that, the way forward for me, I think, is let's not make it a weapon, okay? And then we should.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. How are you gonna de-weaponize it? How are you gonna de-weaponize it by making it?
Listen.
I don't get.
Listen, let me tell you how you de-weaponize it.
Everyone, let's not
listen. Let me tell you how you de-weaponize it. Yeah. And this is the reason. Listen. Yeah. This is what I believe. Yeah. You should bring your kids up in a world where it's black against white.
My guy.
Oh yeah, this I agree.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't bring up your kids like
the
this.
reason why it's a weapon right now is because it's literally black against white.
No, and the thing is, like,
you can know, like, oh, I don't know how to, like, I'm looking for, like, an example. I do get his
point, by the way, to a certain extent, because when you think about it, like, people who usually use it want to trigger you, and then when you do get angry, it's like, oh, the typical black man, like, he's mad now. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, you feed into the stereotype. I get what you're trying to say.
Don't feed into that stereotype.
But in the same sense, though, you can't think that it's possible for every black person to not be triggered by it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can work on yourself to make it maybe not trigger you, but generally, I feel like...
No, listen, that's what I'm like...
I don't even think you don't get triggered, like, all the time. Come on, man.
Like, two things will happen. I don't know if it's possible, I pray it's possible, but like, if we come up in a world where everyone is one, the N-word will either be used as brotherhood for like every f***ing person, or it should not be used at all.
So here's my point, and this is what I'd like to, finish up on. I do not, like, I get your whole social cleanse thing of, people trying to, not get offended by the word. That will not happen. That will not happen, especially where I'm from. It will not happen. It will not happen. Reason being is there's too much history and there's too much struggle associated with that world. Yeah. It needs to be, and we as black people have done a terrible job. Yes. A terrible job of upholding the history, because there's people who fought for our freedom, and even though we're not completely free, we are to a point where we can still do the same things as white people. We've done an awful job of upholding our history, but I think it should be completely out of our vocabulary.
I agree.
If we teach our children, as you say, to not say it whatsoever, that's the right thing to do. That's the way to make sure that word is non-existent.
Yeah, I'ma do this track. West Side, M.O.B., Bad Boy Killer. Hey, Fat Boy. First off, touch your chick and the click you claim. West Side, when we ride, come equipped with game. You claim to be a player, but I bust your wife. We bust on bad boys, brothers touch for life. Plus, Buffy trying to see me weak, hearts I rip.